Introduction to Tenant Screening. Effective tenant screening is the cornerstone of successful property management, safeguarding investments and ensuring a stable rental income. It involves a systematic evaluation of prospective tenants to assess their reliability, financial stability, and suitability for a property. A thorough screening process helps landlords avoid problematic tenancies, which can lead to costly evictions, property damage, and significant stress. Understanding the importance of this initial step sets the foundation for a secure and profitable rental business. This course will delve into each critical aspect, providing actionable insights for mastery. Legal frameworks and fair housing. Navigating the legal landscape of tenant screening is paramount to avoid discrimination claims and ensure compliance with federal, state, and local laws. The Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, familial status, and disability. Additionally, many states and localities have expanded these protections to include other characteristics like sexual orientation, gender identity, and source of income. Landlords must apply screening criteria consistently to all applicants, documenting every step of the process. Adherence to these regulations is not just a legal obligation, but also an ethical responsibility, fostering equitable housing practices. Understanding these laws is crucial for mitigating legal risks. Defining your ideal tenant profile. Before screening, landlords should clearly define their ideal tenant profile, aligning it with the property's characteristics and their business goals. This profile includes objective criteria such as minimum income requirements, credit score ranges, and acceptable rental history. It also considers factors like pet policies, smoking preferences, and the desired length of tenancy. Establishing a clear profile ensures consistency in evaluation and helps attract suitable applicants, streamlining the screening process. This proactive step prevents arbitrary decisions and sets realistic expectations for both landlord and tenant. A well-defined profile is a strategic asset. The application process, initial steps. The tenant application process begins with collecting essential information from prospective renters. This typically involves a standardized application form that gathers personal details, contact information, employment history, and previous rental addresses. It is crucial to obtain written consent from applicants to perform background, credit, and rental history checks. Providing clear instructions and a transparent overview of the screening process helps manage applicant expectations. Ensuring all required fields are completed accurately is vital for a comprehensive evaluation. This initial data collection forms the basis for all subsequent screening steps, making accuracy paramount. Credit report analysis. Key indicators. Analyzing a tenant's credit report is a critical step in assessing their financial responsibility and ability to pay rent consistently. Key indicators include their credit score, which provides a snapshot of their credit worthiness, and their payment history, revealing past delinquencies or bankruptcies. Reviewing outstanding debts, such as credit card balances and loan obligations, helps determine their debt-to-income ratio. A high debt burden can indicate potential difficulty in meeting rent payments. Landlords should look for consistent, on-time payments and a reasonable amount of debt relative to income. Understanding these elements provides valuable insight into an applicant's financial behavior. This analysis helps predict future payment reliability. Understanding background checks. Background checks are essential for identifying potential risks associated with an applicant's past behavior. These checks typically include criminal history, searching national and local databases for felony and misdemeanor convictions. They also often cover eviction history, revealing any prior instances of non-payment or lease violations that led to eviction proceedings. It is crucial to understand that a criminal record does not automatically disqualify an applicant. Landlords must consider the nature and severity of the crime, as well as its relevance to tenancy, in accordance with fair housing guidelines. Consistency and legal compliance are vital when interpreting background check results. This step helps ensure the safety and security of the property and other tenants. Employment verification, income stability. Verifying an applicant's employment and income is crucial for confirming their financial capacity to pay rent. This involves contacting current employers to confirm job title, dates of employment, and salary. Requesting recent pay stubs, W-2 forms, or tax returns provides tangible proof of income. Landlords often establish a minimum income to rent ratio, such as requiring gross income to be at least 3 times the monthly rent. Consistent employment history demonstrates stability, while frequent job changes might indicate potential instability. This step helps ensure that the tenant has a reliable and sufficient income stream to meet their financial obligations. Thorough verification minimizes the risk of rent default. Rental history verification. Past behavior. Contacting previous landlords is an invaluable step in understanding an applicant's past rental behavior. This verification can reveal crucial information about their payment habits, property maintenance, and adherence to lease terms. Key questions to ask include whether rent was paid on time, if the tenant caused any damage beyond normal wear and tear, and if they received any complaints from neighbors. Inquiring about their reason for moving and whether the landlord would re-rent to them provides significant insight. It is important to verify that the contact information provided is for a legitimate landlord and not a friend or relative. This direct feedback offers a realistic preview of how an applicant might perform as a tenant. It is a powerful predictor of future conduct. Personal references. Limited value. While personal references can be part of an application, their value in tenant screening is often limited compared to other verification methods. Friends or family members typically provide biased, positive feedback, making it difficult to gain objective insights into an applicant's reliability. They may offer a glimpse into an applicant's character or work ethic, but rarely provide details relevant to rental responsibilities. Landlords should approach personal references with skepticism and prioritize information from credit reports, background checks, and previous landlords. If used, questions should be open-ended and focus on traits like responsibility and trustworthiness, rather than rental-specific behaviors. Relying solely on these references is a significant risk. Interviewing prospective tenants, when conducted legally and consistently, can offer valuable insights beyond what documents reveal. This interaction allows landlords to assess an applicant's communication style, demeanor, and overall impression. It's crucial to prepare a standardized set of questions that focus on their needs, expectations for the property, and understanding of lease terms. Questions must strictly avoid any topics related to protected characteristics under fair housing laws. This means no inquiries about marital status, religion, family plans, or disabilities. The interview should confirm information on the application and address any ambiguities. Maintaining a professional and objective approach is key to a fair and legal interview. It's an opportunity to build rapport and clarify expectations. Red flags in applications. Identifying red flags in tenant applications is crucial for mitigating future risks. Common red flags include inconsistencies in information provided, such as differing employment dates or addresses across various documents. An applicant who pressures for a quick decision or attempts to bypass standard screening procedures should raise suspicion. Evasiveness when answering questions about past rental history or frequent moves without clear explanations are also concerning. A history of evictions, significant outstanding debts, or a poor credit score are clear financial warning signs. Landlords should also be wary of incomplete applications or those with obvious errors. Recognizing these indicators allows for further investigation or a cautious decision. Trusting your instincts is often important. Calculating debt-to-income ratio. The debt-to-income DTI ratio is a volatile financial metric used to assess an applicant's ability to manage monthly payments, including rent. It is calculated by dividing an applicant's total monthly debt payments by their gross monthly income. A lower DTI ratio generally indicates a healthier financial standing and a greater capacity to afford rent. For example, if an applicant's total monthly debt, car payments, credit cards, student loans, is $1,000 and their gross monthly income is $4,000, their DTI is 25%. Landlords often look for a DTI below a certain threshold, typically 36% or lower, to ensure the tenant is not overextended. This ratio provides a clear, objective measure of financial risk. It's a key indicator of financial stability. Tenant screening services. Utilizing professional tenant screening services can significantly streamline the process and provide comprehensive, reliable data. These services typically offer bundled packages that include credit checks, criminal background checks, eviction history reports, and sometimes even employment verification. They often have access to more extensive databases and can process requests quickly, saving landlords time and effort. While there is a cost associated with these services, the investment can be justified by the reduced risk of problematic tenants and potential legal issues. It is crucial to choose a reputable service that complies with all relevant privacy and fair credit reporting laws. These services provide an efficient and legally compliant way to gather information. Decision-making. Approving or denying. The final decision to approve or deny a tenant application must be based on objective, predefined criteria and applied consistently to all applicants. Review all gathered information, credit reports, background checks, employment verification, and rental history against your established tenant profile. Document the reasons for approval or denial thoroughly, as this record is crucial for legal protection. Avoid making decisions based on personal biases or gut feelings, which can lead to discrimination claims. A clear, defensible decision-making process ensures fairness and legal compliance. Communicating the decision promptly and professionally is also important, regardless of the outcome. This systematic approach minimizes legal exposure. Adverse action notices. When denying a tenant application based on information obtained from a credit report or background check, landlords are legally required to issue an adverse action notice. This notice informs the applicant of the denial and provides specific details about the consumer reporting agency that supplied the information. It also advises the applicant of their right to dispute the accuracy of the report and obtain a free copy. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, mandates these notices to ensure transparency and protect consumer rights. Failure to provide a proper adverse action notice can result in significant legal penalties. Understanding and complying with these requirements is critical for legal risk mitigation. This notice is a crucial legal safeguard. Lease agreement fundamentals. The lease agreement is a legally binding contract between the landlord and tenant, outlining the terms and conditions of the rental. It should clearly specify the rent amount, due date, and acceptable payment methods, along with any late fees. Key clauses include the lease term, security deposit details, maintenance responsibilities, and rules regarding pets or alterations to the property. Both parties' input, rights and obligations must be explicitly stated to prevent misunderstandings and disputes. A well-drafted lease agreement is a critical risk mitigation tool, providing a clear framework for the tenancy. It serves as the primary reference point for resolving conflicts. Consulting legal counsel for lease drafting is highly recommended. Security deposits and legalities. Security deposits serve as financial protection for landlords against potential damages or unpaid rent. However, strict legal regulations govern their collection, holding, and return. State and local laws often dictate the maximum amount that can be charged, how the deposit must be held, e.g., in a separate escrow account, and the timeline for its return after tenancy ends. Landlords must provide an itemized statement of deductions if any portion of the deposit is withheld. Proper documentation, including move-in and move-out inspection reports, is essential to justify any deductions. Non-compliance with security deposit laws can lead to significant penalties. Understanding these legalities is crucial for avoiding disputes and legal action. Transparency is key in this process. Pet policies and agreements. Implementing clear pet policies is a crucial aspect of risk mitigation for landlords. These policies should specify acceptable pet types, breeds, sizes, and the maximum number of pets allowed. A separate pet addendum to the lease agreement is highly recommended, outlining tenant responsibilities for pet care, waste removal, and noise control. Landlords may charge a pet deposit, pet fee, or pet rent to cover potential damages or increased wear and tear. It is vital to distinguish between pets and service or emotional support animals, which are protected under fair housing laws and cannot be subjected to pet fees or breed restrictions. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings and potential property damage. A well-defined policy protects both parties. Rent collection strategies. Establishing efficient and clear rent collection strategies is fundamental to maintaining consistent cash flow and minimizing financial risk. Landlords should clearly communicate the rent due date, acceptable payment methods, and consequences for late payments in the lease agreement. Offering multiple convenient payment options, such as online portals, direct deposit, or electronic transfers, can improve on-time payments. Implementing a strict but fair late fee policy, consistently applied, encourages prompt payment. Automated reminders can also be effective tools. Maintaining accurate records of all payments and communications is essential for financial tracking and potential dispute resolution. A proactive approach to rent collection ensures financial stability. This minimizes potential income loss. Property inspections. Regular maintenance. Regular property inspections are a proactive risk mitigation strategy, allowing landlords to identify and address maintenance issues before they escalate. Conducting a thorough move-in inspection with the tenant, documenting the property's condition with photos and a checklist, establishes a baseline. Routine inspections, typically every 3 to 6 months, can identify minor repairs needed, ensure lease compliance, and prevent major damage. A final move-out inspection, again with detailed documentation, helps assess any tenant-caused damage beyond normal wear and tear. Clear communication with tenants about the purpose and scheduling of inspections is essential. These inspections protect the property's value and ensure tenant accountability. They are vital for long-term property preservation. Handling tenant complaints and disputes. Effectively handling tenant complaints and disputes is crucial for maintaining positive landlord-tenant relationships and preventing legal escalation. Establish clear channels for communication and respond promptly and professionally to all inquiries. Active listening and empathy can de-escalate many situations. Document all complaints, communications, and resolutions thoroughly, creating a clear record. Attempt to resolve issues amicably through negotiation or mediation before resorting to more formal legal processes. Understanding tenant rights and responsibilities, as well as your own, is key to fair resolution. A consistent and fair approach builds trust and minimizes conflict. This proactive management reduces the likelihood of costly legal battles. Clear policies aid in resolution. Eviction process. Legal steps. The eviction process is a complex legal procedure that landlords must follow meticulously when a tenant breaches the lease agreement. It typically begins with serving the tenant a formal notice to quit or pay rent, as required by state law. If the tenant fails to comply, the landlord must then file an eviction lawsuit, unlawful detainer action, in court. A court hearing will determine the validity of the eviction claim. If the court rules in favor of the landlord, a judgment is issued and a writ of possession is obtained, allowing law enforcement to remove the tenant. Self-help evictions, such as changing locks or shutting off utilities, are illegal and can lead to severe penalties. Strict adherence to legal protocols is paramount to avoid legal repercussions. This process requires legal expertise. Insurance for landlords. Comprehensive insurance coverage is a critical component of risk mitigation for landlords, protecting against various unforeseen events. Landlord insurance policies typically cover property damage caused by perils like fire, storms, or vandalism. They also include liability coverage, protecting the landlord if someone is injured on the rental property. Additional coverages, such as loss of rent insurance, can compensate for lost income if the property becomes uninhabitable due to a covered event. Umbrella policies can provide extra liability protection beyond the limits of standard policies. Reviewing and updating insurance coverage regularly ensures adequate protection for your investment. This financial safeguard is non-negotiable for property owners. It provides peace of mind against significant financial losses. Emergency preparedness. Developing a robust emergency preparedness plan is essential for protecting tenants and property during unforeseen crises. This includes establishing clear protocols for natural disasters like fires, floods, or earthquakes, as well as man-made emergencies such as power outages or security breaches. Landlords should provide tenants with emergency contact information, including local authorities and maintenance personnel. Ensuring smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire extinguishers are functional and accessible is paramount. A designated meeting point for tenants in case of evacuation should be communicated. Regular review and updating of the plan, along with tenant communication, enhances safety and minimizes damage. Being prepared reduces chaos and potential harm. It demonstrates responsible property management. Maintaining tenant relationships. Fostering positive tenant relationships is a key aspect of long-term risk mitigation and property success. Good relationships lead to higher tenant retention, reducing costly vacancies and turnover expenses. Promptly addressing maintenance requests, communicating clearly about property issues, and respecting tenant privacy build trust. Being fair, consistent, and professional in all interactions encourages tenants to treat the property with care and adhere to lease terms. Regular non-intrusive communication, such as seasonal reminders or property updates, can also strengthen rapport. A positive relationship often means tenants are more likely to report issues early, preventing minor problems from becoming major ones. This proactive approach benefits both parties. It creates a stable and harmonious rental environment. Continuous risk mitigation strategies. Risk mitigation is an ongoing process that extends beyond initial tenant screening and requires continuous vigilance. Regularly reviewing and updating lease agreements to reflect current laws and best practices is essential. Staying informed about changes in fair housing laws and local landlord-tenant regulations helps maintain compliance. Conducting periodic property assessments and implementing preventative maintenance schedules reduces the likelihood of costly repairs. Maintaining open lines of communication with tenants fosters early problem detection and resolution. Regularly evaluating your tenant screening criteria and processes ensures they remain effective and legally sound. Proactive management and adaptability are key to minimizing long-term risks. This continuous effort protects your investment and ensures sustained success.